dumb idea you made up turn into a real-life discovery? I accidentally started a fake conspiracy in chemistry class because I didn't study for a quiz. Our teacher passed out these impossible worksheets about memory retention and reaction timing, and I was completely cooked. I hadn't slept, hadn't studied, nothing. So while everyone else started writing, I just stared at the paper pretending to think. Then my teacher stopped next to my desk. She looked at my blank page and said, "Do you need extra time or do you just not know anything?" And for some reason, instead of admitting I was unprepared, I said, "I'm testing a theory." The entire room went silent. She crossed her arms and asked, "What theory?" And I swear this was the dumbest sentence I had ever said in my life. I told her people remember things better when they're emotionally embarrassed while learning them. A guy in the back literally laughed so hard he choked. But I kept going because at that point I had committed to the lie. Said schools teach everything wrong because students are too emotionally neutral. If you attach embarrassment or adrenaline to information, the brain remembers it longer. My teacher looked at me for like 5 full seconds and then said, "Okay, prove it." I should have stopped there. Instead I said, "Give me 1 week." So now I had 7 days to somehow fake scientific evidence for a theory. I invented in 4 seconds. After school I recruited 3 friends and we started testing it on volunteers during lunch. Nothing dangerous, just harmless embarrassment. Like making someone sing the answer to a trivia question in front of friends, or wearing ridiculous sunglasses while solving flashcards. Stuff like that. Then we'd compare their memory scores later against people who learned normally. At first it was just stupid fun, but by day 3 something weird happened. The embarrassed group was actually remembering way more, not a little more, like dramatically more. One girl remembered an entire 20-word sequence almost perfectly 2 days later. Meanwhile, the normal study group forgot half of it in an hour. So suddenly this fake experiment stopped feeling fake. We started documenting everything seriously. I made spreadsheets, timed responses, recorded recall percentages. By Friday night, my bedroom looked like a crime investigation board. And I realized something else. The students who normally struggled the most improved the hardest under the emotional learning tests. And that freaked me out, because now I wasn't trying to avoid a bad quiz grade anymore. I was accidentally sitting on something real. So Monday came. I walked into class with a full slideshow, printed charts, and zero confidence. I thought everyone was gonna laugh me out of the room. Instead, halfway through the presentation, the class got completely quiet. Even my teacher stopped interrupting. At the end, she just asked, "Did you do all this yourself?" I said yes. Then she took my flash drive and left the room without another word. I thought I was dead. Turns out she sent it to one of her friends at a local university who worked in cognitive psychology. 2 weeks later, I got invited to sit in on an actual research meeting. Apparently, there were already studies connecting emotion to memory retention, but almost nobody had tested mild social embarrassment specifically in classroom learning, which meant my panic-made lie had accidentally pointed toward a real research gap. By the end of the semester, they ran an expanded version of the experiment with actual supervision, and somehow my fake excuse from chemistry class ended up getting cited in an educational research paper. I still failed the original quiz, by the way. Got a 42, but technically I also helped discover a better learning method because I was too lazy to study for chemistry.